Welcome back to Third Car Garage, where if you like the smell of old fuel, nicotine, and stacks of receipts, I guess we'll get along just fine. So I wanted to talk to you today about the 66 Mustang. The problems I run into and the things that I do. Today's big problem is the starter. The starter on the Mustang is a little bit of a pain in the ass. I ran into a few problems. It's been a few months since I posted a video because I just kind of got done. You know how sometimes you're done, you walk away for a while? Because I couldn't get the starter to fit. Now, why couldn't I get the starter to fit? Well, because I had the wrong starter. So let me highlight you on how the starter works on these things. So if you have a 66, 67, 68, 302, and you decide to bolt up a Tremec, no problem. The Tremec 5-speed bolts up perfectly, no issue. I go buy a brand new starter. Went to Advanced Auto, ordered a starter because my motor didn't come with a starter, transmission didn't come with a starter, so I had to buy one. I couldn't get it to fit. I bought one for a 68 302 manual transmission. That's what you're supposed to put in it. I'm guessing that's what it had in it. So I went and got the starter. The starter wouldn't fit in. Come to find out, the nose was about 50 thousandths too big for the hole that you're supposed to slide it into. And I thought, oh gee, it's probably the Tremec, it's probably this, it's probably that. But what I didn't understand was I didn't swap out, because I'm a moron, I didn't swap out the spacer plate. So I had the 68 spacer plate in there. The only real big deal about that is it's exactly the same spacer plate except for little bolt holes on the bottom are tabs. You got to kind of knock them off and re-drill them. So it's not that I got cheap, it's just I didn't realize I had to. Well, I made a mistake. So if you ever do a swap, get the spacer plate. But that's not what the problem turned out to be. The problem turned out to be the starter itself. If you go and you ask for a starter for a 66, 67, or 68 Mustang manual, they're going to give you the manual transmission starter. Don't buy that one. I have a 157 tooth flywheel on this car. And I got it from Modern Driveline. Modern Driveline's great. That's the go-to place as far as I'm concerned whenever I do these swaps. Problem I had is I'd never done this one before, and I couldn't get the starter to fit. So what was the answer? The answer is to use a starter from an automatic, because in the brilliance that is Ford at the time, their manual and their automatic transmissions both used the automatic transmission starter, which has a cone diameter 50 thousandths smaller, 50 thousandths, than the other one. I don't know why. It's Ford stuff. You know, it's like math. You know, if you've watched my videos, you know me and math, we don't get along. You know, considering I work on stuff like nuclear fuel pumps, you'd think I'd be better at that. But I'm not. So if you're going to do a conversion to a T5 and you're using a 302 and you don't have a starter, or you're going to replace your starter, get the starter for the 66 to 68 automatic transmission. It bolts right up, it wires right in, and it works perfectly. So today, well, yesterday I put the starter in. I couldn't get the car to start, couldn't get it to fire. It was a timing issue, no big deal. I mean, I had built this motor, and those of you follow along, me and my 9-year-old, my son, we built it. But the real problem wasn't the starter, it was me not knowing that there's supposed to be a different starter in it. So let's get past that. The bottom line is I got it running, and I did a short, today, and I added it to my YouTube page. What I didn't do is have enough gas, because I literally, the 2 gallons of gas that I had put into this car, between the pickup tube and the fuel going in, getting it started and all that, I completely ran out of gas. So here it is at nighttime, and I don't have any gas in my car, so you can hear it run. But that bad boy is fully functional, fires up, runs, everything's working. She heated up, she ran smooth. I haven't put the timing light to it or anything, I'm just on regular timing, and I have everything hooked up, but I haven't really, you know, adjusted it yet. But accelerator pump fires in right away, everything's adjusted right. I might have to get an O2 sensor just to make sure, because I use that Carter AFB on it. And so I just want to make sure everything's, you know, top notch. But I guess this video really is to update you. I'm in a different garage, obviously, than before, but that's so both my babies, the Mustang and the Cobra, can sit together and sleep together and, you know, make other baby Fords, you know, like maybe they'll get together and build something really cool. But yeah, so that's what the video is for. I do have some other little things. I've got the interior pulled out in the back. I don't know if you can see that, but that hole between the trunk and the interior of the car, I don't like that. I don't like that. Between noise, smells, cold, heat, everything that could transfer, because the only thing there is the batting of the seat that's between you and the trunk. I don't like that. And you could buy something and blah blah blah, but what I did is that's just a cardboard cutout, and it fits. I don't know if you can see it or not. I took a piece of cardboard, and I'll take that piece of cardboard to work, and I'll get a piece of steel, and I'll cut it exactly right, and I'll bolt it in. That way, in case I ever have to take it out, I can always unbolt it. But I'll bolt that in. I'll seal it, bolt it in, and then the little holes to the left and right, I'm going to make little plates for those. But I'm going to put grommets in it. That way, I can run like speaker wire and stuff like that. If I have to run that in the trunk, I can use it through those grommet holes, and I'll put grommet holes in that. But that way, and then I'll put sound deadening over the back of that on the interior of the car. That way in the trunk, it's just a nice flat plate. It'd be a good place to mount stuff like an amp if I ever try to upgrade the stereo or something like that, because, you know, I do like to listen to Disturbed and other music with little sound, you know, get it kicking a little bit. I like it loud. The exhaust on this is actually pretty quiet. It's got full dual exhaust, but it's pretty quiet. It's got a little rap to it when you get on it, but for the most part, it's not like glass pack. It's just regular, you know, the box mufflers. But like I said, the exhaust is from the 90s, I think. Somebody upgraded it back then. But that's the only problem I had. That's the only problem I had, was that starter. Now that the starter's done, I feel like now it's time to finish the car, get it going. So the last 2 days have been very, very exciting. So if you're a car guy and you left your car alone because you're just tired of it, you're not going to get rid of it, but you're just kind of done for a while. And so, you know, you do some other things and you do some other projects. And I've been traveling a lot for work, Colorado and Tennessee and stuff like that. And I live right here in, I live in in North Carolina. But I'm back to doing car stuff. It's winter time. It's time to have a good time. I don't know what videos I'm going to shoot. I don't know if you guys want how-to videos or if you just like the fact that I tell you what I did and then move on, right? Tell you my mistakes, don't do those mistakes. But, so basically, to rehash this thing, it's a 66, notchback, interior's an 8 out of 10. It's a really good interior. The exterior is like a 8 out of 10. It's rust-free. I bought it without a motor and transmission, so I bought a 302 out of a 68 Mustang, a known one, a guy, Mickey. He sold me the motor. I bolted up to a Tremec 5-speed. I use modern drive line for the conversion kit, you know, for the flywheel, and then I used a CJ Pony I used for the drive shaft. It's a 51-inch drive shaft. Had a little problems with the, come find out I needed a bastard, what they call a bastard, universal joints in the back. Got that taken care of. So everything's ready. Everything's put together. The disc brakes are in. They're bled out for the most part. My friend Rick will come over. We'll bleed them out a little bit better to make sure it's got a power booster on it. So it's ready. It's ready. I think by this time next weekend, I'll have all little things tweaked out. Like right now, I got it full of water. I need to drain the water out, fill it up with coolant. I need to put brand new fluids in the rear end and in the Tremec in the 5-speed, which actually has no fluid in the Tremec right now. So I'll fill that up with fluid. I'll change the fluid in the rear end, and basically I'll go from there. But I just want to make sure all brand new fluids, no leaks. I ran it for probably 15 minutes. I don't have any oil leaks, coolant leaks, or anything like that, which is why I had the water in it. Because if you're going to spill, you want to spill water, right? But now I think mostly with winter coming, although it doesn't get that cold down here in the Carolinas, you get a day or two here and there that's below freezing, but it's not very long, you know. So that's really about it. As soon as we get all the fluids changed and all that, I can go through some of that with you, and then I'll start actually videotaping some of the stuff I'm actually doing, the stuff I'm having problems with. I'll start videotaping that. I actually bought a camera. I bought a camera, and I'll start, you know, doing real videos with editing instead of this one-shot deal that I always do right now. But this is try to get me comfortable with it. Try to be, you know, on YouTube. I'm not really a public guy, so I don't want to be famous. This is mostly for my boy. When he gets older and I'm gone, he can look back at, you know, the stuff him and I did together on these cars. That's the main thing. So that's where it's at. Videos are coming. If you like 66 Mustangs, if you like Cobras, which for those of you who don't know, that's a start, run, and drive. All the brakes are done, the drive line's done, and all that. It's just mostly wiring and gauges. And then I'll have to paint it. You can say my gauges are cardboard cutouts because I'm trying to decide where they go. And of course, I'm using a Terminator X for a 4.6 with the 5-speed. So with the 8.8 rear end. So she'll be a screamer. She's got Mustang rims on it right now, but you know, at some point I'll put some different rims on it. I still got to figure out the tire and rim setup for the Mustang. I've got rims. These here. And I use them as rollers, but I have to use spacers so they don't hit. So I have to order a set of offsets so I don't have to use spacers, because I won't use spacers, you know, for actual driving, because I just think that's a wrong way to go, you know. I will say one of the nicest things I've done, a short little thing, are these right here. I don't know if you can see them right here. Those little rubbers for the hood. You know, a little pain in the butt to put in, but I'll tell you what, that totally changed the way the hood seats, the way it sounds. With the 4 brand new little rubber cushions in there, man, I'll tell you what, the hood doesn't shake, it doesn't vibrate, you know, it doesn't sound weird. It's the little things. It's the little bushings, little the seals around your window. It's those little things that make it comfortable to drive, comfortable to ride in. Those are the type of things that I'll start filming from now on. But I'm going to try to film the cable, since I did a quadrant. I welded in a quadrant for the clutch, for the Tremec, for the, and there's no videos on that, none of any value. So I will do a video on my clutch setup. As soon as I get that ready, I'll get everything in place, and then I'll videotape that, and I'll do it with a real editing and a real video, unlike what I do right now. But I'll give you a look. I got the cable in, I just have to finish it all up. So here's a look. You can see right there. You got to mount that in. Cable runs down, around, then it runs back to the transmission. Like I said, it has to pull the clutch to the front of the engine. So you can't use the original setup, which is the Z-bar. Z-bar got to go if you're doing a 5-speed change. So just so you know that if you're doing a conversion, you can't do it the old school way. You know, just swap it out real quick. So, and I got to get a battery that fits. So I got a battery hold down and all that. But those are all things. We're going to change out the battery plate. I'll order one of those up tonight. And when it comes in, I'll do a video on that. Even though I'm sure everybody knows how to put in a battery tray. But I need to start getting back into doing videos. I enjoy doing this. I enjoy it when somebody comments, even though I tell you not to. But anyway. So if you have any questions about my conversion, about my build, bleep bloop, and then or tell me you see something I'm doing wrong. Hey, you know, I'm not a Ford guy, but I got 3 of them now, so. All right. Well, until next video, we'll talk to you later.